So, like most of you at home during this whole corona thing, I'm getting pretty bored. I'm running out of things to do. I've learned the guitar, I've done a couple of paintings, I practice piano about an hour every day, I've started learning a language. I'm running out of things to do fast. So I got the idea, I'm gonna go on a hike. But not just any hike. I'm gonna go on a 20-mile hike. I'm going to start at the base of American Fork Canyon and hike up to Park City. Sounds like an awful idea, and probably is, but I'm going to go pack some things, find someone to go with me, and I'm going to get on my way. Right, this is important. First off, don't ever try to redo this during the spring. The amount of snow we had was ridiculous, and unless you are a very experienced backcountry snow enthusiast, don't ever try and do this again. That's my disclaimer for the video. Right, so I've got my backpack all packed up, and I have found someone to go with me. I'm gonna have my cousin that is in town go up the canyon with me. We're planning on it taking us about 2 days, so we packed about 3 days worth of food and water, and we've got a Jetboil to keep us warm just in case, and we'll see how it goes. It's important to say that we were very prepared for this adventure. We had several ways to keep warm. We had plenty of clothes, we had plenty of water, plenty of food. We had maps of where we were going. We knew where we were going. We knew how to get to where we were going. And we had several backup plans in case anything were to go wrong.
So when should I worry?
Sunday afternoon. Like 4:30. Yeah. 4:30. Okay.
My mother dropped us off in the canyon, and as we were saying goodbye, the last things we said to her were, don't worry until Sunday afternoon, and don't call anybody until Monday morning, if you still hadn't heard from us. Alright, so we left our mother from dropping us off April 17th, Friday, around 5:30 p.m. So we were leaving a little bit after we wanted to, and to make up for it, we ended up hiking 2 hours straight, about 7.5 miles to our first campsite, the Dutchman Flat, and only stopped to take about 2 or 3 photos, so I didn't do any updates until then, but we got our tent set up, got a campfire going, and I think we updated after that. Night 1, Dad, this is proof that me and Ammon do indeed know how to build a fire.
That's true.
So why don't you just keep that information to yourself next time? After our campfire, we had a little bit more time before we were getting too tired, so we ended up watching a movie on my phone, and so we stayed up till about 2 a.m. and then slept until about 10 a.m. and after an update we headed out. First campsite, Dutchman Flat. That was our little tent. We had a nice little fire. There's a little bit of snow, but the trail is still clear, so onwards we go. Day 2 of our trip of insanity. Dad, this one's for you. This is the most snow we've encountered on our trail. Hate to break it to you, but you were wrong. Ammon, you got any words?
What he says is true. What can you say?
So it's about 1:20. We're officially halfway done with our 23-mile-ish hike through the AF Canyon to Park City. We're both doing fine. My cousin's legs hurt a little bit. I'm doing totally good though. Nothing I haven't done before. Lots of snow, but it's all hard, so we just walk on top of it. I'll be coming to you with a story once we get to our campsite. We're gonna stop in about an hour and a half. All right, Dad, here's the thing. There is snow, but it's not 10 feet deep, and we're fine.
And it's totally walkable. Because like this snow, it's all snowmobile track, so it's packed down, and we haven't sunk once, so it's totally fine.
We've sunk once, but it wasn't bad. We don't talk about that. But yeah, we're fine. So, we've gone about another 1.5 miles since our last update. This airplane has found us and has been harassing us now for the last like 10 minutes. He's just flying over us, sticking his face up in our business, trying to enjoy our nature walk. This guy just thinks he's so cool up there in his airplane. Just keeps flying over our heads, turns around, comes right on back. It's really annoying. But I'll update you again in a little bit. Well, we're not entirely sure where we are. We're not lost though. We know we're on the right trail, just we don't know where on that trail we are. But it's fine. We've got this beautiful view, as you can see behind me. We're stopping to eat lunch. I've got some pre-made pizzas. Probably not the best thing to be eating on the trail, but don't really care. My cousin's got some burritos and some granola bars. So, we're gonna have some fun. Catch you up in a little bit. Bye. So it's been over 1.5 hours. Airplane guy still hasn't left us alone.
I don't know what his deal is.
Just keeps circling around, and we thought he left for like a hot minute, and then he just showed up again, started circling us. He flies over there and then he comes right on back. It's getting really annoying. Alright, so that airplane that found us, we thought that was just some guy bored out of his mind during the coronavirus, has a pilot's license in an airplane, and was flying around the canyon and saw 2 hikers and just decided to follow. Yeah, no, that was the search and rescue airplane, and they were looking for us. Alright, so apparently our family thinks we're stupid and sent the chopper to come get us. But yeah,
That's ridiculous.
we're doing fine. And family doesn't trust us, but whatever, we don't care. We're onwards on our journey. Well, we just finished being traumatized from the copter. We thought we were in trouble. We're not. But now we have this wonderful hill to climb up. So it's gonna take a hot sec, but just laughing about seeing a copter fly down on us. So that helicopter that you saw was the Highway Patrolman Utah County helicopter. They had been in communication with the search and rescue airplane, and once they had found us, they came to come and talk to us, make sure everything was okay. It freaked us out just a little bit when they knew who we were, but we had no clue that search and rescue was looking for us. Later on, we received texts from search and rescue once we got service saying that there was a party looking for us, but at the time we hadn't received any text, we had no service, so we didn't know what was going on. So here's the thing I don't get. me and my cousin started this adventure Friday around 5:30. We hiked for about 7.5 miles and stopped and camped. And last words we said to my mother, which she dropped us off, was, do not worry until Sunday evening. Don't call anybody until Monday morning. Not only did she not worry, that was exciting.
What?
Those snows just fell.
Oh.
Not only did she worry before Sunday evening, she called somebody before Monday.
The cops, to be exact.
So we just had the police safety helicopter come and talk to us. Literally had a 1-minute conversation. The dude jumps out of the heli. He goes, hey, are you guys Garrett and Ammon? We're like, sure are. And he's like, are you guys good? We're like, yep, we're doing great. And he's like, you guys, you're good? And we're like, yep. He's like, hey, your family was just worried that you were underprepared. We're over-prepared. With the stuff we have, we could have probably stayed up here a week.
Reasonably, yeah.
We could probably have stayed up here 2 weeks if we were like rationing and starving ourselves. But yeah, we're fine. We have a life straw and
a jet boil. Those bottles.
we have enough jet boils to last us a month. So
we have 2 giant canisters.
we've got our solar panel. I mean, we just hiked up this huge hill.
That mountain.
We've got 2 miles left to go. We're fine. Oh my gosh, we are fine.
1/10 of the hike left. Come on. That hill is a lot more steep than you think it is, though.
Literally,
It killed me.
Literally, they showed up with us having 2 miles left. Like, what the actual heck?
I don't know.
We are, what, 5 miles ahead of schedule?
That's true, actually. We missed it, we passed a turn that I didn't even notice, so I thought that we were still looking for the turn. But we passed it, and then we found the next turn, so we're way further than we thought.
Yeah,
we were.
so we know
in the right direction.
We know exactly where we are, and we are good. Stay tuned for that story that I told you.
Adventure!
Stay tuned for that story I told you about later. So this is where communication becomes a thing that is very important when you are going on doing things like this. We knew what we were doing, and I think my mom knew that, but my dad didn't really understand that we had prepared as much as we had. So when she told him what we had done, the next day he went and tried to find a vehicle that could go up the canyon to follow us. And he asked my uncle to borrow his Raptor, and my uncle called search and rescue. They believed that we were woefully unprepared and had probably frozen the night before. So search and rescue was looking for bodies. They weren't looking for us. And after coming off the mountain and finding out more information, we found out that over 50 people had started a search and rescue team to come look for us. So this is where, again, communication is important. It's important to let people know what you're doing, where you're going. And again, we did say not to call anyone until Monday, but I guess that information was not passed from mother to father. Well, we're on day 3 now. Sun's coming up. We've got maybe 3 miles left to go till we're done with this adventure of ours. We've got a hardest part left to go, which is still up. But once we get up that, it's all downhill. So, enjoy the sunrise, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, the sun's up. That's what we came up. That's what we have left to go. And then it's all downhill from there, baby. Let's do this. We've got about 500 feet left in our journey. And this is what we see. Pretty good, if I do say so myself. So one thing I did forget to mention was after camping at our second campsite, we were informed of a severe storm that was heading our way. So we ended up rerouting from Park City, which was about 3 miles away, to Alta, which was about half a mile away. And we were planning on hiking down the Alta ski slopes to the Alta Lodge, where my dad was going to pick us up, but he was still too worried about us, and he ended up calling the ski patrol, and so they were waiting for us at the top of the mountain, and they ended up helping us out from there. Well, we made it to Alta. Now we're chilling out, going down on the Cat. Pretty good adventure, if I do say so myself. Earlier I mentioned I was going to tell a story once we got to our next campsite, but once we actually got to our next campsite, it was dark, we were cold, and we ended up using water bottles and our Jetboil to keep us warm. We would boil water and put them in the water bottles and put that next to us to stay warm. But because of that, we didn't end up having the time or the energy to tell the story that I was planning on telling you. So here it is. A friend of mine that I've been communicating with during this whole corona outbreak had two friends that he was very good friends with before the corona outbreak, and he was probably spending 30 hours a week hanging out with them. And he couldn't understand why their parents wouldn't let them still hang out after the corona outbreak started. And so he devised a plan that he would go out at night after everyone's parents were asleep and they would hang out. So they ended up sneaking out, one of the two friends, and they would just go and get in the back of his car and talk for about 4 hours and then go home. And that was their way of keeping up their friendship and keeping their hopes up, keeping their morale up. But about 2 weeks went by of them doing this, and he ended up getting them caught with one of his friend's parents, and their parents were not very understanding and just said that there couldn't be any more communication between them and that they were grounded on top of their corona grounding. So I asked him if he regretted doing that, and the words he said to me I'll never forget. He said, "Don't do stupid stuff, but if you do, don't regret it." And that hit me really hard, and it was something I was thinking about a lot on our hike, is don't do stupid stuff. And yes, this hike was something stupid. But do I regret it? No. Things that happened in the past are in the past, and there's nothing you can do about them anymore. You can't go back and change what's already been done. So why regret it? You should enjoy the moments that you had, even if they were breaking rules and doing something stupid. And I learned a lot from him saying that to me, because he recognized that yes, he had done something stupid. He had done something against the rules. He was very sorry for doing that, but he didn't regret it because he enjoyed the moments that he had with his friends. And he doesn't know if things after this corona outbreak will be different. The parents of his friend see him as a bad influence Inuits, which I know for a fact he is. But just because you're a bad influence on someone doesn't mean that they can change, and doesn't mean that they shouldn't get second chances. So that's my moral of my story. That's my takeaway from my whole hiking experience. That's my motto of this video is don't do stupid stuff. But if you do something stupid, don't regret it. I do want to express my gratitude to Utah County Search and Rescue and the Sheriff's Department for all of their help that they did on our hike. We did end up refusing the helicopter ride home. We started a journey and we planned on finishing it. And once the search and rescue personnel on the helicopter realized that we were a little bit more prepared than everyone was originally told, they ended up, after having a 1-minute conversation with us, leaving. And we stayed in contact with them once we had service throughout the rest of the hike. But we did end up making it home safely.